Hello everybody, this is P. Francis McNichol, otherwise known as Phil to my friends. I'm doing a quick review. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but I was interested in comparing two items together, two products. One was Ryze that I have not tried yet. This right here packet was 6.35 ounces, and this cost me about 10 bucks just for this amount here. Okay, I bought two of these from Dose. I believe the lightning bolt is supposed to be an S. It's facing the direction of an S, not a Z, but it looks like lightning bolt or a Z. This is medium roast coffee plus collagen L-theanine. That's like a feel-good natural supplement. Chaga, Lion's Made, and it has a whole list of branch chain amino acids, glycine, L-proline, L-hydroxyproline, glutamate acid, L-alanine, L-arginine, L-aspartic acid, L-lysine, L-serine, and a whole list, second list, more of L-leucine, valine, phenylalanine. Okay, say that 10 times fast. Theanine, isoleucine, histidine, L-histidine, hydroxylysine, methionine, and L-tyrosine. Okay, this appears to be a bodybuilder's dream to have something like this with all these branch chain amino acids that help. They're basically like the precursors of building proteins and rebuilding muscle tissue. Okay, and this was developed by a gentleman by the name of Jack. He developed this because he had short attention deficit disorder, I believe it was, and he talks about how he just didn't want caffeine, by itself. He wanted something healthier. Okay, and like the previous ingredients I spoke of, I had another pack like this, and I used that over time, and I want to say it helped me. It helps your system stay regular. It flushes out. You notice a lot of different activity with your internal GI tract itself, and how everything works continuously. And it has a different feel when you basically go to the bathroom. And I believe it is clearing out your system, and a lot of things that you might not know are still within your GI tract. But it works pretty good, and at a certain point, it works, and it's not that it keeps you up or it keeps you active. You notice that you do have natural energy that is not like shooting up super quick. Okay, you can sustain yourself doing a lot of walking. If you're out on the town walking all night, or you're doing something like an outing like we do, walking the town, taking our clients out, maybe you're out with a date and you're going to enjoy the whole evening together plus late night into the next morning, this works fairly good. I got to admit that I have tried. Okay, so there was a special on Ryze because it was super expensive. And if I remember correctly, just for the reference and the price, dose was for this, again, 9.5 ounces was about 20 bucks. Okay, this right here for 6.35 ounces was 9 bucks. So I happen to have about $36 plus. I bought 4 of these. Because I could afford it, that price they offered. These are generally more expensive though. Shop around and what have you. This is just kind of off the cuff because they talk about the mushroom coffees, and Ryze has more of the mushroom elements to it that help the digestion system. It helps your metabolism and how you process that food in your system, and it eventually becomes waste and what have you. And I'm not looking for a total colon cleanse here, okay? But it does work to keep your system steady, normal, Okay, and just go over this real quick. Ryze mushroom coffee, USDA organic. Okay, how to use more than just coffee is what they say. Our ingredients have been studied for thousands of years and found to enhance brain function, boost immunity, and give balanced energy that keeps you shining all day long. All with less than half the caffeine of a normal cup of coffee. So you don't want to get jacked with either of these, but it does say in some of the literature, both of these you can add to coffee. And coffee, it says here in the back of this one, and it's like find your rise, like find your prize, I guess. It says coffee will not mind if you add this to it. It's like, okay, I don't want to be jacked at the same time. Something like this could be, something like these could be like a dessert or something I would drink slowly after a nice healthy meal and sustain myself from there on out. In my field, working overnight, even though there's a lot of lag time on overnight shifts, I get up every 20 minutes and I make my rounds. About a half an hour, sometimes it has been longer, like 40 minutes, but every hour I am pounding the floor, walking, checking on my clients. I'm getting up literally every 20 minutes throughout the whole night. And I find that that works for me if I'm not rushing, I'm not running, there's not an emergency. I'm not doing a lot of strenuous lifting, a lot of strenuous cleaning. I do cleaning at the beginning of the shift, checking on my clients, and then I relax throughout the rest of the evening until hygiene morning time comes and breakfast is, helping them dress and what have you, getting ready for breakfast and their day. And I like being up without being, I want to say, too jittery, too up where I feel tired. But, when your mind is racing, or I don't want to say racing, but you have this kind of agitated awareness with you. And it's only because of caffeine. Okay. So I like about getting up every 20 minutes without any caffeine or not, or having a coffee. I don't rush to kill myself because I pace myself out throughout the whole shift. And I give good care that way to make sure emergencies do not occur while they are sleeping, mind you, for literally, I want to say, 7 to 8 hours of my shift. Okay, there's only so much cleaning you can do when your clients are sleeping. You're checking on them twice an hour, and you're walking around staying active without burning yourself out. And so I look to something like Ryze or Dose as something can I have at the beginning of the shift and it sustain me all throughout the shift without jacking me up and feeling really freaking stressed. Really, I want to say agitated, where my mind is staying awake and it doesn't know what to do because my body is telling it it's time for sleep. It's time for some nocturnal sleep here, pal. And I want something that gives me the natural energy without eating all night. I found also, if you ever work overnight shifts and you get used to it, I don't know how police officers do it. I really don't. When I was younger, I don't know how a lot of police officers love that overnight shift. Okay, without taking a cat nap. If you can't take any nap, then it's like, why even try? I want to be wide awake when an emergency happens with my clients. I want to be able to handle it, and I always do. Even if I'm worn down and kind of tired. Those emergencies kind of pump you up and they pump your adrenaline. Now, over a long period of time, is that adrenaline really good for you? No. Most police officers would tell you. As soon as you stop policing, 50% of police officers kill themselves because the adrenaline stops. The body doesn't know how to react with that post-traumatic stress. And that high level, pardon me, that high level of ongoing stress they were used to, and their body became accustomed to it, no matter how bad it was, they survived doing that, what have you. So, going over some of the mushrooms for Ryze, it says cordyceps energy, reishi mood, lion's mane focus, shiitake, I'm assuming mushrooms, immune support, turkey tail healthy digestion. King Trumpet, longevity. So this might be a good investment. I am looking for the perfect blend of something to sustain me as an almost 60-year-old. Okay, so I can perform my duties and take care of my clients 100%. And one thing I do love about my field is I'm not digging a hole. I'm not lumberbacking a bunch of wood up the up the ladder to a bunch of construction workers. Okay, what I'm doing is sustaining myself throughout a 10-hour shift, trying to give good care to people, and that's overnight shift. Okay, with nocturnal sleep, I do so much better, and this might not even be necessary. A cup of coffee and a good lunch, and I'm great all day long. Okay, this might not be for you if you just have a regular day shift, but that's what I'm seeking. That's what I'm seeking when I purchase something like that. This is more expensive. I bought 4 of them for 36 bucks. I think the total came out to $41 with shipping, and I don't remember the company because it was one of those companies you might be chancing it on Facebook or online somehow that basically sells these things. They act like they're doing you the favor, and you get induced to buying more of these. You don't know how much they are. The actual page for this didn't say, was it, again, 6.35 ounces. I was thinking more like 12 ounces full of this. So anyways, earlier I heated up a beer cup of hot water. Where did my spoon go? My spoon is right here underneath my keyboard. I also got, it says you can add their own creamer to this, and it's delicious. I have no doubt, and I'm not going to drink all of this only because my schedule won't permit it, and I don't want caffeine all throughout my system when I try to sleep later on today. But I like hazelnut. I borrow a couple of these each time I go to 7-Eleven. They don't mind because I frequent 7-Eleven often, and I show patronage and kindness when I do. Okay, so I open that up. So I'm going to open this. First time opening this and trying this. Okay, separating the seal. It has a kind of instant coffee smell to it, with a little of that dry creamer sweetness to it. It's not super powerful, but there is coffee in this, and I thought it wouldn't have coffee. I'll go over the ingredients because this is the #1 thing. I already know what Dose does for me, and it works pretty good too. But I'm going to try this tonight after I wake up and I get ready for work. Organic instant Arabica coffee is the first thing they list, so that means there's most of that compared to all the ingredients. Ryze organic mushroom blend, cordyceps, reishi, king trumpet, shiitake, turkey tail, lion's mane. Organic coconut milk, that is probably what gives it the sweet aroma, the more sweet aroma, but it does smell like instant coffee. Organic MCT oil. I want to see where I read earlier. Okay, how to use 1 tablespoon of Ryze, 6 to 8 ounces of hot or cold water, stir or froth thoroughly, add milk creamer to make it a latte. Okay. Not much different than Everyday Dose. Maybe Everyday Dose doesn't have all the coffee. Organic chaga, fruiting body extract. Organic lion's mane, fruiting body extract. Those are the 2 ingredients of mushrooms in that. So I have a teaspoon, not a tablespoon, just so I'll let you know. I never go overboard because of previous surgeries, and I don't want to say being comorbid or what have you, but I never go overboard when it has something to do with a chemical like caffeine or any medication. I always take less and then see, hey, do I want more? Is it going to start becoming too commonplace where it's addicting? How is it going to make me feel with just that? I want to say 80% of what they say the dose should be, literally, the amount you use to accomplish what this is intended for. Usually I can figure out if it's going to work good and it's not a full attack on my system. And you should use caution anyways also. So, even that, I wouldn't use too much. Dose, I can use a tablespoon, man, and it tastes strong. With dose, you need a lot of good creamer in there and add a little sugar to shake it a little more. Hold on. Okay. Doesn't look like less, but if I turn it sideways, I don't want it to spill. This right here is about 12 ounces of hot water. I can tell you right now, this is probably less powerful than dose, because I see the dark brown, yes, but it's not as dark as dose. Dose with just a teaspoon is very dark. It's very dark brown looking, where you can see that brown effluence. Okay, this is more like instant coffee looking, and judging by the water, it's very translucent. So let's mix it all the way, make sure none is on the spoon. Yeah, it's translucent with just a teaspoon. And I know the owners or what have you, they say, well, you need to follow the direction and use a tablespoon. It's like, no, I'm testing it out at this time. I'm not trying to overdo it when there are things in play later on today. I'm not trying to stay up all day. Okay. And this is just a taste test anyways. So I'm putting the creamer. Yeah, I'm not really impressed. This has the color. This has the color almost gray. I put a creamer in it. It's like kind of a gray, where the same amount of dose looks much healthier. It looks thicker. Dose really works with just a teaspoon. Okay, a tablespoon. I'm not sure what Dose's older directions are. Okay, serving size about 1 tablespoon too. And I go with this, I go 1 teaspoon. And it looks dark brown. I add creamer to it. It looks like a really rich brown and light. It looks healthy. This does not. This looks, and you can see it for yourself. This looks like light flavored coffee with creamer in it. Kind of like axle grease or something in the old military you would drink. 1 creamer, mind you, about 12 to 13, 14 ounces of hot water. That's how I drink my coffee. I don't want it super strong. I want it to help and enhance what I'm doing. Not cause acid reflux, not cause the jitters, not cause scatterbrain flightiness and what have you. Whatever the the stimulants do to the human brain, I don't want. I want activity in my brain, and I want sustained energy in a healthy way. Some people would look at this, and I know our lady friends out there would look at this and say, I ain't drinking that. That looks just bad. Okay, I don't think there would be much difference with even a tablespoon. It doesn't have a creamy look. It has more of a gray and brown look. kind of like a sickly gray. I'm kind of surprised on the looks alone. So, hold on. Weak. With 1 teaspoon, this is weak. I taste the creamer of this little bucket of creamer here that you can get at any 7-Eleven, any fast food joint you go to buy coffee. And this is very weak. I don't know if the mushroom content is more, so it's expected basically to do more for your body. That could be it, but I know this is thicker, stronger, tastes better with just teaspoon, and you'll be satisfied. If you're a coffee drinker in the morning, you wake up after a healthy amount of 6 to 8 hours of sleep, you have 1 teaspoon of this with hot water, and it's one of the best coffees with its strength, like a morning breakfast blend coffee, like a donut shop coffee. And it still has those benefits of all those branch chain amino acids. I mean, that's a whole list of them. 3, 6, 9, 18 branch chain amino acids helping your body heal itself. I'm kind of surprised. I'm not mad. I will probably use Ryze also in the future, but now I know I have to add a little more. And so the aftertaste is kind of not coffee. It's kind of like that kind of coffee sourness coffee may leave with an aftertaste, but I think that's the mushroom. It's kind of more fuller with the coffee. It's kind of more fuller in the back of my tongue, while there's nothing there, I want to say causing saliva or that gooiness you have with sugar and stuff like that. Not that kind of aftertaste. I mean the dry aftertaste of what coffee usually does. It's as if I can taste the creamer more than the actual Ryze coffee. So that's it basically in a nutshell. And for price, this is, I take occasionally, so this has lasted me 3 months. I went through the first one in about 3 months. And it had to do with working out and doing all kinds of other different things. So I just cut back on this because I wanted regular coffee after a while. Okay, this was a nice fad. Okay, but this gets better results by taste, by flavor, by the thickness, by the aftertaste, definitely. Yeah, it's like a amaretto, and is it amaretto and hazelnut creamer that gives it that nice almost vanilla flavor to it, but it's amaretto. Yeah, I see. I have to add a lot more of this to accomplish the same thing. So is it worth it? I don't think so. 2 of these, and it was a sale. 2 of these for 20 bucks, basically. You get 4 of them for 36, but you're still paying $41 total on a sale of this. This stuff is much more expensive. You have to shop around. I budget, and I try not to be cheap, but I try to get stuff that works. And the 4 packets of this at 6.35 ounces. Okay, I'll use because it has a Ziploc here in here too. Okay, I can take it or leave it and come back to it when I really want it. This satisfies though. I can tell you this right now, that might be okay if I drink the whole thing, which I'm not going to do at this time, only because of my planning the rest of the evening and into the overnight. However, I wouldn't do the same thing with this too, because this I know works, and I can have this at the beginning of my shift, and no, I'm not going to get the jitters. I know I'm not going to be agitated flightiness up in my brain because my body is saying you're tired as crap, go to bed. While my mind says no, I have things to perform so I don't get fired or what have you. It's an overnight shift. We hate those overnight shifts, but not many people like to do it. Not many people can do it. Let down with Ryze coffee. Totally let down. The same flavor, and it looks better too. I wish I could describe dose better because it's thicker and it looks like that dark creamy brown, you know, where it's 100% coffee. And I don't mean creamer and light and kind of opaque brown. I don't mean that. I mean it's nice and rich, but you put a little creamer in there and it's like talking to you because it looks thick, but it tastes so smooth going down. That's dose, sorry, not Ryze. I'm kind of shocked, but I'll still use them both when I need to. And I'll try to get more and more of the benefits from both of them over time, depending on the situation. So if somebody asks me, they both have their purposes. A lot of mushroom isn't going to taste that great anyways, but it's there for a purpose to help you. That might be a good way to get those nutrients in your body. I fully understand that, but for full flavor, and I just want to say aesthetics, dose is the way to go at this time. And this has lasted me literally 6 months, at least a half a year. And it's a bigger pouch, and you're going to pay for it. Because this pouch might be $20 and it's only 9.5 ounces, okay? And this might be a better deal right now, getting 2 of them, okay? That's going to be what, over 22 ounces, okay, for 20 bucks. But with the taxes and everything, this appears less worth it for some reason. And I'm not impressed with the color at all. So, something to take into effect. They both have caffeine. They both are a thicker flavor, if you want to say that, than your average instant coffee without creamer. That could appear somewhat watery, but still have some bite to it. That's what Ryze reminds me of, like cheap instant coffee, okay, with not much full body flavor to it. Again, with just 1 teaspoon. So in essence, you'd be going through this really quick. That's what they want you to do. Go through it really quick and then buy more of that. You don't have to. Pace it out with this dose. It's up to you. Anyways, guys, thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Don't chase every fad out there, or you're going to waste a lot of money. That's why I waited such a long time to buy some Ryze and actually compare the two, you know, and I'm glad I waited a long time. I won't buy this again. I will use the product that I have over time, but when I run out of this, I'm getting more dose instead. It just tastes better. It's just more appealing. It swallows better, okay, and your body will probably intake it better. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Please have a great day out there and be safe. Take care.